On Sunday, 2 men were chased through the streets, beaten to death, and their bodies strung from a lamppost by villagers in the Nile Delta, some 87 miles north of Cairo. The lynch mob were convinced the men had kidnapped children and committed other crimes. Since 2011, 17 people have been killed after these so-called popular committees took the law into their own hands. These self-appointed local vigilante groups first started roaming Egypt's streets 2 years ago during the lawless days of the revolution. But some fear that these sort of scenes could soon happen more often if the demands of a number of Islamic political parties are met. They're calling for the formation of neighbourhood watch groups to support the work of the Interior Ministry, which seems unable to contain the unruliness on the streets.
There are some Muslim forces who are discussing the possibility of bringing back local groups made up of ordinary people to patrol the streets, to establish security in their neighbourhood, but in an organised manner with a proper legal framework.
There have been ongoing clashes between protesters and police in recent months over the spread of insecurity after the verdicts of some unpopular high-profile trials were announced, as well as the rise in crime and harassment of women on the streets. Recent developments have seen the Interior Minister threaten to withdraw officers from the streets if attacks on them don't stop, and officers themselves have threatened with strike action in protest over a lack of equipment to tackle the clashes. Then came the Attorney General's statement, which said that even though it was illegal to set up vigilante groups, citizens had the right to confront those who committed civic crimes and hand them over to the police. Still, some security experts say creating these local groups could have worse consequences than a lack of security itself.
Even the new constitution, which we reject, bans these militias on partisan grounds. Otherwise, each political party would set up its own militia, something which will turn Egypt into another Iraq. The police force exists. It should work under the nation's banner, neither under the banner of the Brotherhood nor the Adala party.
But how some Egyptians want to be policed?
To recourse to forming policing groups from the masses will mean legalising thuggish behaviour.
It will certainly lead to trouble, embarrassment, and people will take over entire areas.
The Interior Minister should be the one ensuring security in the country. It's shameful to be talking about local groups belonging to the Muslim Brotherhood.
Scenes like these in Cairo on Monday, a stricken police car burning out of control, only add to an image of lawlessness which will inevitably lead many to question just who is in control of Egypt's streets. Rashid Sakkay, BBC News.